What is a cause of death you certainly don't want to die from? I remember reading about this guy that fell into a pit of concrete powder, and he inhaled some of it. It set in his lungs, causing him to very slowly and painfully suffocate. Wet concrete is also a chemical reaction. He was burned to death, lungs first. Death by lathe. It's not so much for me as it is for the poor fuck who has to untangle me. Respiratory distress. A couple months ago I was on a train when it stopped and asked all medical personnel to report to my car. I look back and a man is on the floor with his girlfriend sobbing. Everyone went quiet so I heard him gasp, "I can't breathe," and I was so scared I would witness this man's panicked last breaths. After about 20 minutes they were able to get him stable enough to carry him off. Before I had never really thought of not being able to breathe as a terrifying way to die, but damn. Lava. It's a lot worse than movies make it look. Spicy honey. Being put in a big metal container naked, then having the container get heated by a fire. It would be way worse than just being caught on fire. Drown in the mud like soldiers during World War I. Oh fuck that. I heard Dan Carlin's podcast on Past Chendel, and the unmitigated horror of slowly drowning in mud over the course of a few days haunts my sleep. They begged their brothers in arms to shoot them. Glowworms. The way they kill their prey is one of the most painful ways to die in the animal kingdom. They use the silk stands to attract prey, paralyze them, drill a hole in the side of their head and fill their insides with stomach acid, then leave them for 2 weeks to digest. Nature's slow cooker. Rabies. Explanation of how it is to die because of rabies. Edit. Thank you for the awards. Getting buried alive. This whole thread is making me extremely anxious. This has put my claustrophobia into high gear. Glad I'm up for work or I'd have horrid nightmares. Brain-eating amoeba. Surviving a high-speed car crash only to come out of surgery, live in massive pain for 2 days and then your heart gives out from all the excruciating pain. Or surviving a fire but over half your body is covered in third-degree wounds, only to die weeks before being cleared to leave and having to spend all those years in the burn unit only to never see the outside world again. I had 4 spinal fusions and the last surgery they zipper cut my stomach down the middle. Pain was so excruciating that if I even so much as turned my head laying down my heart rate would spike. They had to sedate me several times because my heart rate would reach 160s 170s when they tried to move me. Edit. If anyone wants to see the MRI or the scars on my stomach I can post. Fire. Being skinned. Edit. I mean it like being flayed while fully conscious. A naked man has few secrets, a flayed man, none. House Bolton. Killed by someone I know. I don't want to spend the last minutes of my life with the conflicting thought of all the moments I lived with that person versus what they're doing to me at the moment. Fear, frustration, sadness, betrayal, pain. A girl I went to high school with was stabbed to death by her roommate when she was studying abroad. Sometimes I have nightmares about what she must have gone through in her last moments of life. It's morbid and terrifying. John Jones, who got stuck upside down in a super tight cave passage in Utah and rescuers couldn't get him out. So they had to just let him die and then sealed the cave up. Yeah, not my ideal bucket kicking. Being tortured. I just want a quick AHHH and lights out. Call it a day. Not even AHHH, just a quick peekaboo, take me out. A flying guillotine's blade straight to the back of the neck. Being dissected like cutting open your stomach and that stuff. If the subject is alive this is referred to as vivisection. Cheese grater. Like being rubbed against a giant 101 going up your ass. Radiation poisoning. Edit. Those of you all posting links to the Hisashi Ouchi story here really should include a NSFL tag in your comment. If you're someone browsing the replies on this thread and click on a link, be prepared for some truly gruesome images, which confirm why radiation poisoning is such a heinous way to go. Just gotta pop a shitload of Rad-X, then you're golden. Edit. Yuri Petrova has pointed out you don't inject Rad-X. Fixed it to pop. Driving off a bridge into deep water. It's never happened to me, but for some reason the sound of a windshield cracking upon impact with water and the feeling of a seatbelt digging into my neck and hips pop up in my nightmares a lot. I have a hard time crossing bridges in vehicles, thanks to that. Alzheimer. I have a seizure condition, and when I have had a seizure there is a period of time where I cannot remember certain things. For instance, there was an incident where I couldn't remember friends' names, or how to do basic things like wash the dishes. I could not muster any memory of how to turn the water on, use the dish soap, or how to actually clean the dish. It has lasted for upwards of a week, and it's scary cause you cannot communicate meaningfully with others. So I couldn't imagine being like that without recourse. That one torture method where they leave a rat on top of your stomach trapped and starve the rat so it digs through your stomach. Crucifixion sounds pretty bad too, or being burned in gasoline. Dying from Alzheimer's. I've seen too many people in nursing homes and too many family members die from it. It hurts me now to think if I had Alzheimer's I'll forget the ones I love. I'll probably hurt them emotionally and physically. I might cheat on my so. People might say, yeah but you won't know. But fuck that, I don't want it. I'm also taking care of my dad who has Parkinson's. It's another fucking awful way to die. To slowly lose control of your entire body, and you're just a prisoner inside your own head. And it's not an instant death, it takes years. Plane crash. It's not how quick or slow death can be. Op is talking about the cause of death, not how painful it can be. A plane crash can be terrifying, especially if the plane disintegrates midair and you'll be thrown into a 30,000 feet free fall. And I don't want my family and friends to live with that. Yeah, I am with you on that. That feeling in your gut while you're descending and everyone screaming. Getting a sword stuck in my anus. That's oddly specific. Have you heard about that guy who died after having anal sex with a horse? That's definitely how I don't wanna go out. Cancer or any terminal illness. As someone with stage 4 cancer, same. Edit, thanks for all the encouraging messages, didn't expect but definitely appreciate them. Drowning is one of my worst fears. Drowning is a process that can take up to a few minutes before you pass out. Must feel like ages. Diarrhea. Regular or explosive? Slowly wasting away in a retirement home. Get hung by my Achilles tendons. An erection lasting more than 4 hours. Talk about die hard. Not taking care of myself, when I know that I can. Not enough people realize that they're taking their youth for granted. Myself included, of course. Bleeding from my head because I sneezed while sleeping. Had a friend who woke up to find their pillow drenched in blood. It turned out one of their lungs collapsed and they didn't wake up until quite a ways into it. Amazingly, they're still alive. Like that poor chick lost in the Odessa catacombs, total darkness, panic, silence and just slowly fading from lack of everything. Cannot imagine a more drawn out and miserable way to go. So sad. https://www.vice.com/n/ca/article/7bd7ep/dying in Ukraine's endless labyrinth of catacombs 341. For anyone wondering about this one, it's something of an urban myth, and didn't actually happen, but man, that would be a terrible way to go. Dying alone and slowly from old age, after everyone I know is dead. Weirdly, that's my ideal way to go. I want to die after everyone I love so I know I'm not leaving anybody behind. Starvation, it lasts a long time and I can barely go a day being hungry. I just got told of a case, where a guy put a pantyhose over his head, added some cheddar on top and sat in front of a heating lamp, suffocated on melting cheese. Way to go. Drowning. Almost drowned 3 times. None of them were fun. Please don't drown me. Mental illness driving me to commit suicide. I think more than anything on earth I'm scared of Alzheimer's. To me it's just so sad. Live a long, healthy life, with so many beautiful memories to just have them ripped away from you. You forget your so, then your kids, then everyone else, then what? You're alone in this world and you're stuck living with that hell. You die with nothing, no memories, no loved ones, as far as you know, and that is the most heartbreaking fucking thing to me. I'd rather die than deal with that. The hardest thing I've ever done was tell my great-grandmother I love her and she doesn't even respond. I don't want to live through that, no fucking way in hell. Drowning. Fuck drowning. Autoerotic asphyxiation. Smothered by a gang of puppies and then all of them trying to enter my body through my mouth. What? Anyway, that dehumanizes me. When I die I want to look like myself, not decapitated or distorted in some freaky way. I just don't want my dog to see me die. Nice try, God. In a plane crash. The actual impact isn't what I'm talking about, it's the unbearable amount of terror you'd experience before. Like you know you're going to die while hurling to the ground, and everybody in a screaming panic around you. Gets my anxiety up whenever I think about it. I'm going on a 9 hours plane trip next month and I have a severe phobia of them. Fuck. Many obvious ones have already been said, so I want to share something different. You wake in the night hearing a noise downstairs and cautiously go to check it out. Your worst fears are realized when you find a man dressed in black with a balaclava on. Wanting to protect your wife, you charge at him, there's a scuffle and you find yourself pinned down as he stabs you several times, leaving you too weak to stop him harming your wife. With your last bit of energy you reach up and pull off his balaclava only to see the assailant was your closest friend. Then you see your wife stood on the stairs. I'm sorry, she says coldly, we only did it for the insurance payout. I hate being woken up while sleeping. Starving. Imagine choked on a pea and die, and later people said you died a pitiful death and everyone took pity of you. May he rest in peace. Edit, woohoo, I'm rich, thank you gold giver. Don't want to die from thirst. Don't think a meth overdose is the best way either. Prefer living. Animal attack, specifically bears. Big cats normally bite the throat until the prey suffocates. Bears can't be bothered, they just start eating while their prey is still alive. ARS or burning. By burning I mean not dying from carbon monoxide, but actually flames touching your skin. ARS. Edit, I just looked up all possible acronyms. Please tell me it's the American Rhododendron Society. Honestly, I just don't want to die with my penis out. Being microwaved. Old age, I don't want to die lying in a bed slowly losing function of my body as it shuts down. Buried alive with an oxygen tube running into the coffin/box/whatever it is you're buried in. Obviously it would suck if you were buried alive, but you wouldn't be alive for long. There's only so much oxygen in that enclosed area before you run out and ultimately die, 6 or so hours give or take. Well, now imagine you're buried alive but have a tube running from the coffin to the surface that provides you with enough oxygen to breathe normally. You're stuck there for days until you die of dehydration. Days trapped in a tight, enclosed area with no relief. All you can do is sit there and suffer in darkness until your body finally gives out, or if you're lucky, die of shock. Sounds like a pretty terrifying way to go if you ask me. Falling in a crevasse was instantly a terrifying fear of mine as soon as I learned it's a thing. Just the thought of surviving the fall and lying there waiting, knowing you're gonna die in a few days. Any of those fun old torture deaths like 1,000 cuts, scaphism, hung, drawn and quartered, or breaking at the wheel. Bees. Not the bees. Acid rain. For that to kill you it would first have to go through your skin and bones to get to the vital organs. Depends on what kind of acid rain. The stuff here on Earth won't kill you, it's not near strong enough. It mainly wears away at stone and structures over a period of several years. The stuff on Venus though? That'll kill you horribly. Eaten by an animal, chances are you ain't dead yet. And #X200B, edit, holy doodle, this blew up. I've only been here 48 hours, lol smile, thanks for all the gruesome stories, guess I hit a nerve. Stay safe. Thanks everyone. My mom used to be friends with a lady who got lost on an expedition and was eaten alive by polar bears. They only found her shoe, with the foot still inside, and a few other pieces, as well as her backpack.